And I really liked to draw at that point. And this was like before Photoshop and before coloring on the computer, or at least before I realized that all that type of stuff was a thing. But I don't have any records of these drawings, unfortunately, and nor do I have the VHS tapes, nor do I have any of that stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, I do have one picture that I can say that I drew and actually scanned it in on the computer, and I'm just gonna put that picture up right now. So, yeah, very interesting. But after, like I said, after I got into my sophomore year, kind of like at the beginning of the school year, I was flipping through the channels one day and I said, wow, Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me check out Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I have to be honest and say, I actually did not watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Like when it first came out. Like I didn't really hop on the popularity train. And I saw Yu-Gi-Oh! Late. So I watched it and I thought to myself like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like I'm gonna watch this like every day. And yeah, they were like right in the middle of the Waken the Dragon slash Doma type arc or whatever, like right in the beginning of it. And you know, like I got really interested and I said to myself, wow, let me watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And you know, like I watched it for a few days, and a few days turned into a week, and then a week turned into 2 weeks, turned into 3 weeks, turned into a month, and you know, so on and so forth. And I was like really, really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like punching in like all these searches and stuff like that, because like I said, I used to draw. So I used to like look for pictures from Yu-Gi-Oh! So I can draw like pictures of the characters and stuff like that. Because I used to like to draw back then. And one of the days that I was searching, you know, for Yu-Gi-Oh! And pictures of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I came across a thing and it was like some type of media database or something like that. And they were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! They were talking about like when it came out and like all this other type of stuff. And then I saw next to the genre tag that it said anime. So then, like, right as I saw the word anime, I said, okay, like, let me punch this in because something seems like it would be interesting if I put this in Google right now. So then the second I put anime into Google, like it was almost like a huge window like opened up at that point. It was like boom. You know, and like I said, I'm actually wearing my Yu-Gi-Oh shirt right now, which very, very, very fitting. But yeah, like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh kind of like unlocked the key right there. And the door kind of like opened a little bit. And like I said, I started like searching up stuff and whatever. And one of the ones I used to use, there was one called We Love Anime, and they had like a huge anime image database type thing. And they were kind of like one of my favorites and stuff, and I used to go to them a lot. And then there was another one called Keiichi Anime Forever, which at the time, there were not that many people in my school that were into anime. There was like one dude that I knew that was into anime, and he actually told me about Keiichi Anime Forever, and I went on it, you know, compliments of his recommendation, and you know, that was pretty much that. Then there was another one that I found on my own called Anime Nation, and those were kind of like the three that I used to go on. So between watching stuff on TV, watching Sonic X, watching Yu-Gi-Oh, and then like going on all these different message boards and stuff like that, because yeah, message boards were actually a thing back then. Oh, wow, that was like a long time ago, right? You know? So, yes, around this time I was going on the message boards and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, you know, rediscovering this and that and the third. I did learn at that point that there were actually Japanese episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! So then I actively pursued those alongside watching the dub and, you know, watching the dub for pretty much anything at that point. And I remember there was a website that used to upload like the videos and stuff like that, and I used to watch them off the website. Now it wasn't YouTube, and this was actually kind of back when YouTube first started, I think. So YouTube really wasn't much of a thing, but there were like other little video sites that people used to upload stuff on. And I used to watch like the little Japanese episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually used to watch them in study hall and hop on the computer in the library. Like, yeah, I'm gonna admit to that right now. But anyway, so yeah, I realized that there were Japanese episodes, and I was like watching the Japanese episodes like at my leisure time, and I was like coming across like more Japanese episodes and stuff like that as they would pop up like in my little related video thing, because like it used to like end and then it would have like a little square with like 4 little related videos, kind of like what YouTube does right now. And one video in particular came up, and it was different than the other videos. I knew it wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh, but it looked like it was pretty cool, so I said, let me click on this thing. And it was like a purple thing, like with a purple background, and it had like, you know, like this light shining like in the middle. So then I watched the video, and like there's, you know, like some Japanese audio, and this dude, he's like talking about this stuff or whatever. And you know, like after the little intro thing, then this opening comes on, like, and it's like an opening for an anime, and I'm just kind of like looking at it, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what anime is this? What, like, oh, my mind is totally blown. Like I must find out what anime this is. And this is actually Shakugan no Shana that I'm talking about right now. So yeah, I found out about Shakugan no Shana at that point, and like I said, Yu-Gi-Oh unlocked the door, and this is about the time where the door is about to open, okay? So I posted around like the different message boards and stuff like that, and nobody knew what this anime was. I posted it on Anime Nation. Somebody told me like, oh, that anime is called Shakugan no Shana. So then I saw, like, I punched Shakugan no Shana into a little video search thing, and then surely enough, I found videos of it. And when I saw the first episode, I was just hooked. Like, I was, like, it was a wrap at that point. Like, it was literally a wrap. And it was funny because, you know, like, wow, like, I totally found it by accident. And I remember I was watching that, and then I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I was watching this other stuff, and then I remember, like, sometime in between then, I discovered that Yu-Gi-Oh GX was a thing, so then I started to pick up with that, and then I started to pick up with, like, you know, like with Onmyo Taisenki and like all these other random shows and stuff like that, you know, and like little by little by little, like all these different anime are kind of starting to come, you know, like into my knowledge sphere or whatever, and I'm starting to know about like all these different anime. Then I came across like, you know, it was almost like a seasonal lineup, like how they do now, because they used to do that back then, like the seasonal lineups, and I think it was about the winter of 2005 going into 2006, either that or the spring of 2006 that I started to get on the seasonal rounds. And literally from then on in, everything else is like pretty much history. So yeah, like I said, this is a really, really long story, but that is how I got into anime. Now, if anybody has any other interesting stories about how they got into anime, you can post about it in the comments below, or put up your own video and call it a day, and pretty much be like, whatever. But yeah, this was mine, and till next time, folks. Later.